This group has had to overcome the obstacle of dealing with me as their faculty advisor, so please look on them with some sympathy.
In her iconic song about New York City, Alicia Keys sings, "These streets will make you feel brand new, big lights will inspire you." But what does it really take to power up these big lights that inspire millions of residents and visitors in New York City every year? Good morning, my name is Mima Mendoza, and I'm here to talk about Local Law 1515, which is an energy efficiency law for businesses. For today's presentation, I'd like to first discuss and set the context of the law, followed by a discussion on what the law actually contains, and then we'll move on to the priorities of the program that we designed for the law, and then we will end with the lessons that our team has learned from working on this law for the past 2 semesters. Now, New York City, center of finance, diplomacy, media, and culture, the Big Apple has its own 21st century long-term challenges which will affect its 8.5 million residents and 200,000 small businesses. And these challenges will be further exacerbated by climate change and its impacts. And climate change is a problem that New York City knows it contributes to. In 2014, the city emitted 52.9 million tons of greenhouse gas emissions, which is equivalently the same amount of emissions that Scotland emitted in 2016. 68% of those emissions come from buildings, the category which businesses fall under. So the city knows that it has a lot of work to do when it comes to reducing emissions and fighting climate change. But instead of seeing this as a hindrance, it sees this as an opportunity to become a leader in sustainability. And in order to become that leader, it has made ambitious goals and strategies, both domestically and globally, and to address these issues. First, it has aligned itself with the Paris Agreement 1.5 degrees Celsius goal and has committed to reducing 80% of the city's emissions by 2050, and all of which are in line with the New York State's Reforming the Energy Vision, which, among its many other goals, aims to transition the state to clean energy and also improve the state's energy infrastructure. And this is where Local Law 1515 fits in the greater scheme of things. Introduced by Queens Council member Barry Grodenchik, the law aims to reduce fines from civil violations committed by small businesses, as well as introduce energy efficiency measures to a constituency that's traditionally very hard to reach. So the law hits 2 birds with 1 stone. First, penalty mitigation. The second, energy efficiency, which are both running initiatives of the city. It's a small piece of legislation in the greater agenda of the city. However, it has the potential to penetrate 200,000 small businesses, therefore reducing a huge chunk of building emissions, and therefore contribute to the expansion of the city's sustainability and emissions reductions goals. So how does this law work? First, each business can use a maximum of $3,000 in fines annually to implement energy efficiency measures. This is for any business, not just small businesses. However, we feel that this monetary value of $3,000 indicates that small businesses will be the likely participants of the program. The violations eligible for the program are also outlined in the law, but some of the more common violations committed by businesses are, say, failure to properly maintain records, sanitation violations with regard to source separation and recycling, as well as improper signage posting. The eligible energy efficiency measures are also outlined in the bill, but more can be determined by the mayor's office or the office designated by the mayor later on. To better understand how this bill works, consider this scenario. For example, our favorite deli, Hamilton Deli, receives a violation of $1,000 in fines. The Hamilton Deli can choose to do 2 things. First, it can just choose to pay the fine outright, or it can choose to opt into the program. If it decides to opt into the program, they will have to address the violation, but instead of paying the fine outright, they will use the $1,000 to implement energy efficiency measures, such as, say, changing all of their light bulbs to LED, buying a new Energy Star appliance for their kitchen, or changing their air conditioning unit to a more efficient one. But there are many others that are outlined in the bill. Hamilton Deli won't do this alone. There will be an office designated by the mayor to implement this program and help the businesses through this whole process. And our team is proposing that the best office to implement this program is the Department of Small Business Services, or SBS. And this is because we believe that the department's mission aligns very well with the goals and the scope of the program. First, it has extensive expertise with dealing with small businesses. It also has existing initiatives that could create synergies with the program that would further expand the scope of the program. More importantly, we believe that it will create the least disruption in the department's current organizational structure, making integration of the program cost-efficient for both the implementing agency and the program. To give you an idea of how the program will integrate into the Department of Small Business Services, consider the implementation team that we are proposing for the program. In blue shows that more than half of the required staff already have positions within the Department of Small Business Services. In green shows the staff that will have to be hired for the program, and in orange shows that the IT work that will have to be contracted out. Now, again, the goal of the law is to reduce fines for small businesses and have them implement energy efficiency measures. Therefore, the goal of the program must be to have as many businesses participate as possible. And in order to do that, the program has to prioritize the following things. First, it has to ensure that the target constituency is aware that the program exists. Second, it must execute the activities of the program efficiently and effectively. And third, it must streamline the evaluation process so that the data collected by the program will be analyzed and used properly. So in order for the program to be visible to the target constituency, the following things have to be done. First, the energy efficiency option must be visible in the violation tickets that will be received by the businesses. Second, the courts must be informed of the program. Third, the program's website must be up and running, and the energy efficiency option must be integrated into other relevant online platforms. And third, the communication assistants must be ready and available to answer any inquiries that the small businesses might have if they're interested to participate in the program. After engaging the target constituency and pertinent agencies, the next step is to ensure that the activities of the program are efficiently and effectively executed. And these will be done through inspections. First, the inspectors will work with small businesses to determine what energy efficiency measures will be best served by their businesses. And then, random post inspections will help ensure that participating businesses are compliant with the terms of the program. Inspectors will have the equipment to do these activities, and they will be using electric compact vans to visit the businesses around the city. Now, if the program activities are effectively and efficiently executed, then the data collected from these participating businesses will be used and analyzed by the staff and the SBS in order to guide them on what changes should be made to optimize the program's goals. This will help establish the program's baseline and better quantify success in the future. Some of the data that will be collected by the program are, say, the number of participating businesses, the energy efficiency measures that are commonly being implemented, and the rate of compliance among the participating businesses. Despite the very hands-on approach of the program that we have designed, it's a very small piece in a very large $82 billion New York City budget pie. Only $640,000 will be needed for the first year, 3/4 of which are allocated for personnel. For what the program could potentially achieve, we believe that the city is getting a substantial benefit for a very small investment. And after having studied the law and designed the program for the past 2 semesters, we have 2 key takeaways. First is that in order to engage 200,000 small businesses, the city must carry the burden of the program. This is because this is a constituency that's traditionally very hard to reach. They don't want to communicate with the government unless they have to, and they only have to when they have fines that they have to pay. This is why the program is a very hands-on approach with a considerable time and labor invested into it. And second, despite the fact that the program is small, with a relatively small budget and a small staff, we believe it has a lot of potential. The monetary values of $3,000 in fines may be small, but we believe that it can spur financial and energy savings on the part of the small businesses. And in turn, they will see that it's a good investment and decide to expand it into their businesses and even into their own homes. In the long run, we believe that This program will help save small businesses money, help the city meet its sustainability goals and commitments. And because while there are other initiatives running in the city that targets the 68% of emissions from buildings, this program aims to engage a part of that 68% that's really very hard to reach and engage and communicate with. Therefore, the program helps expand the scope of the city's initiatives in regards to sustainability and energy efficiency. So hopefully, this program will help increase the city's energy resilience, putting the city one step further to becoming the leader of sustainability that it wants to be. I'd like to thank Dr. Cohen for his guidance and our workshop team for all the work that is done for the past 2 semesters. And thank you all guys for listening. I would like to open the floor for questions.
What fraction of the 200,000 businesses in New York got a fine last year?
We don't have a number, but we do have a number for the amount of fines, which is $16 million in fines that we have. We don't have the exact number of businesses, but the amount that they have received is $16 million in fines. $16 million in fines.
Hi, great presentation, Mima. I am curious about the inspection portion of this. Have you guys considered how, as a small business, subjecting yourself to more frequent inspections might be something that they wouldn't be interested in? And just kind of considering how that plays into the willingness of a company to just pay the fine instead of putting them through. And do the inspections themselves only look at the energy efficiency within there? Are they at risk of being caught for any other violations? How does that whole thing work?
Yeah, so the inspections basically just look at the energy efficiency measures that could be implemented by the business, and this is not for all businesses. We've set a limit to have businesses who have fines of more than $500 to undergo these inspections, but those below $500 can implement the energy efficiency measures on their own. Call the call center and ask about whatever that they might need with regard to what they could implement as an energy efficiency measure. And the post-inspections are random. So not all businesses will be inspected, only those who were inspected above $500, and that's like 10% basically. It's not everyone. It's very labor intensive, but it's not going to be for everyone.
Thank you.